Hey, 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 beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Pampering Myself Podcast. I'm your host, Pam Jones, aka Jonesy, your certified self-care business coach. So here's the tea. We're kicking off a brand new series called Self, all about you. Yep, you heard that right. This series is all about you being you, fully, boldly, messy, and beautiful. We're taking self-expression, self-empowerment, and self-renewal to a whole new level. Basically, all the selves that make you, you. In each episode, we'll peel back the layers with a mix of real talk, reflection, and a little bit of laughter, because growth doesn't have to be stiff and serious. It can be fun, freeing, and full of aha moments. So if you're ready to pour into yourself the way you pour into others, let's do this. Because the most important relationship you'll ever have is with yourself. All right, now, kicking off this series is self-expression. The kind of self-care we don't talk about enough. Writing your truth, wearing your mood, or showing up in a room as your whole, unfiltered self. That takes some courage. We're going to talk about how expressing yourself out loud, on paper, through color, movement, fashion, music, whatever your thing is, can actually help you heal. Because the truth is, when we hold back our voices, we hold in a lot of stress. But when we let our truth flow, talk about freedom and peace. I'll be sharing some signs that you might be holding back and a few simple ways to start expressing yourself more freely, and a little challenge at the end to help you tap back into the real radiant you. Because your voice matters, your story matters, and how you show up in this world, well, that's a part of your self-care. You know, self-expression is one of those things we talk about like it's optional, like glitter on a cupcake. It's cute, but not necessary. But let me tell you something. Self-expression is not glitter. It is the cake. It's how we show the world and remind ourselves who we are, what we stand for, and what flavor of fabulous we're bringing to the table. And here's the thing, it doesn't have to be loud or artsy or even perfect. Self-expression is simply this, telling the truth about who you are, in your words, in your choices, and even in your silence. It can look like journaling real feelings instead of bottling them up. It can sound like saying, "Nah, I'm good," when someone tries to convince you to do something your soul said absolutely not. And it can feel like buying that cozy sweater that screams, "Buy me," even if it doesn't match a single thing in your closet. Or if it's 2 sizes too small. Maybe that's just me. But here's the funny part. A lot of us were taught this. Don't rock the boat. Don't make a scene. Be nice. Be quiet. Be agreeable. Ladies, if being agreeable means suppressing your spirit, then we definitely need to talk. Because when we spend our lives trying to be palatable, we lose ourselves. Can I get a witness? Somebody? Now, expressing yourself isn't about being dramatic, unless that's your personality anyway, where a little drama might come naturally. It's about living in alignment with the you that you actually are, not the version of what people want you to be or that watered down version for approval. So whether you express yourself by speaking up, dancing it out, doodling in the margins of your planner, or wearing glitter eyeliner to the grocery store, just know this: it all counts. Self-expression is self-connection. And when you connect it to yourself, that's when real self-care begins. Now you might be wondering, why is self-expression actually a form of self-care? Well, here's why. When we don't express ourselves, that energy doesn't just disappear. It gets stored somewhere deep in your body, probably near your left shoulder blade or your upper back, right where that tension sets up in a little Airbnb and refuses to leave. You think you're just keeping the peace, but your jaw's clenched like you're biting down on secrets, and you tell yourself, I'm fine, but your eyebrows are permanently stuck in a skeptic position. Well, I guess you get the picture now. So here's the truth. Holding in your feelings, your ideas, your truth creates emotional clutter. And no matter or no amount of lavender-scented bubble baths, pedicures, or butter pecan ice cream is going to clear that out. Well, the butter pecan ice cream might work a little bit. You need a release valve, and that's where self-expression comes in. It's like opening the windows in a stuffy room, letting in some fresh air. Think about the last time you got something off your chest. Maybe you wrote it out, cried it out, laughed it out. Whatever it was, didn't it feel good? Exhaling. That's because your body recognized the care in that moment. That release, that was healing. Yeah, it felt good, didn't it? We spend so much time trying to present ourselves in a way that won't make other people uncomfortable. Meanwhile, we sit in uncomfortability. We sip our herbal tea with one pinky raised while stuffing our real emotions into our mental junk drawers like, not now, I'm busy being likable. Listen, your nervous system doesn't care how likable you are. It cares about safety. And safety looks like authenticity, telling the truth, honoring your no, owning your yes, wearing the red lipstick even if someone says, that's too much. Too much for who? If you don't like it, I suggest you don't wear it. But for me, it's perfect. Self-expression says, I care about myself enough to be honest, to be seen, to take up space. Now that's self-care. And no, it doesn't mean you need to spill your guts to strangers at a checkout line unless that's your vibe. But it does mean checking in with yourself. Am I sharing my truth or stuffing it down? Am I living in my voice or someone else's expectations? Because when we stop editing ourselves for approval and start expressing ourselves from love, that's when we begin to feel free. So go ahead. Laugh loudly, cry freely, dance awkwardly, write boldly, and speak boldly. It's not extra. It's not indulgent. It's self-care, and you deserve every drop of it. Now that we know that expression is self-care, what if you're not quite doing it? What if you've been holding it all in like a purse with no zipper and things are just spilling out all over the place? Let's go over some signs that show that you might not be expressing yourself enough. Number 1, you say, I'm fine, but you're really not. You say it with a smile, but your energy says, I'm 2 sips away from a breakdown and a dramatic haircut. We've all been there, smiling on the outside while low-key fantasizing about disappearing for a week with nothing but snacks and silence. If I'm fine has become your default setting, it might be time to find a more honest outlet. Number 2, you have a PhD in people pleasing. If you're constantly agreeing to things just to keep the peace, I hate to break it to you, but the only peace being kept is everyone else's. Meanwhile, your inner voice is in the back screaming, "Girl, we said we didn't want to go." Sounds similar? Yep, and I'm really still working on this one. Number 3, you don't know what you actually want anymore. When someone asks, "What do you feel like eating?" and your brain short circuits, that's a clue. You've spent so much time catering to others that your own desires are somewhere under a pile of whatever you want, and I'm good either way. And let's be real, you're not good either way. You're really craving those tacos, and you know it. Number 4, you get irritated easily, and you don't know why. It's like everybody around you has suddenly become 10 times more annoying. Spoiler alert, they aren't. What's happening is your unspoken emotions are bubbling up. And guess who you're taking it out on? Everybody. Number 5, you're always on, smiling, nodding, performing, like you're in a one-woman show. Look how together I am. But when the curtains close, you feel tired, not sleepy tired, soul tired. Because pretending takes energy, and you weren't born to perform in that manner. You were born to be. Now listen, noticing these signs isn't about judging yourself. It's about lovingly checking in. We can't heal what we won't name, and we can't express what we won't admit. So if any of these signs hit home for you, don't worry. You're not broken. You've been in a silent mode far too long, and it's time to hit unmute. Now, we know self-expression is self-care, and holding it in is like trying to squeeze into jeans 2 sizes too small. So it's time to loosen things up. And no, I'm not saying you have to spill your entire life story on Instagram or audition for America's Got Feelings. We're keeping it real and simple. Think of those as bite-sized ways to say, "Hey world, this is me. Take it or leave it." So I have a few suggestions and things that might help you. Number 1, the no pressure journal dump. Grab a notebook, write whatever is in your head. No grammar, no filters, no Dear Diary, just you and your thoughts, raw and real. Now that would be me trying to do all the punctuation. I would erase and keep rewriting, and then you lose the purpose. So guess what? No one has to see it, not even you. Rip it up if you want. It's the release that heals, not the punctuation. Believe me, I know it works from experience. I've shared some episodes back how a boss of mine some years ago accused me of doing something I didn't do. And she refused to listen to anything I had to say. And for years, I allowed that to fester inside of me, and it affected me. I didn't know how to handle it at the time, but in hindsight, there were a lot of things that I could have done and wish that I had done differently. Nonetheless, expressing my feelings in the form of a letter to her released my anger and gave me back my peace. And sometimes this might be the only option that you have in addressing what's broken. And for me, it did work. Tore it, let her up. She never saw it. I wish I could have given it to her, but she had moved out of state and I had no way of really giving it to her. But writing it out gave me the peace and the satisfaction that I needed. The second one is to start a voice memo diary. If writing it out isn't your thing, talk it out. Use your phone's voice memo app and record how your day really felt. It's like free therapy, but with your own voice saying, "Girl, today was a lot." And then here's a bonus. When you play it back later, you'll be amazed at how wise and hilarious you actually are. Number 3, dress like the version of you who feels free. You know, that bold lipstick, that funky scarf, or that t-shirt with glittery words like "Unbothered Queen." Wear it on a Tuesday for no reason. It's not about impressing anyone. It's about reminding yourself who you are. And yes, someone might ask, what's the occasion? Say me, I'm the occasion. Number 4, share your story somewhere. You don't have to write a book unless you want to, but maybe share a snippet of your story in a caption, a group, a conversation with someone you trust. Telling your story out loud is like opening a window in a room you've kept shut for years. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be true. I credit Toastmasters International and the Detroit Association of Black Storytellers for giving me a platform to share my story over the years. Now, I have to admit, it was frightening at first, but once I got the hang of it, I enjoyed it. I remember thinking after my first 10 speeches, wow, people must think I'm crazy. But it was my truth, and I never deviated from that. As a matter of fact, I identify myself as an authentic storyteller. It has not only helped me, but others who have thanked me for being so transparent. You never know who needs to hear your story and who it can help. And number 5, dance, sing, draw, doodle, wiggle, scribble. You don't need talent, just honesty. Make art like a 5-year-old who's convinced she's a genius. Sing like nobody's listening, and if they are, give them a show. The goal isn't to impress, it's to express. Let me say this clearly. You don't need permission. You don't need a plan. You just need a moment of courage to be real. And here's the beauty of starting small. You'll build confidence. And the next thing you know, you're showing up with more peace, more power, and a whole lot more you. So don't wait until you figure it out or get it right. Start now. Start messy. Start anyway. Just a quick story about building confidence. When you truly find your voice and practice self-expression, your fear of doing the things you desire but may have been afraid of lessen. You become more open to new ideas and new challenges. You may even surprise yourself, as I did a couple of weeks ago. There's this old saying, never say never, because one day you might do that very thing. I was on a family cruise, and notice I said they, had planned a few excursions, which were way out of my league. I am not a thrill seeker. So of course, I said, I'll pass on this, I'll pass on that. But something came over me the day of, and I said yes. Before I knew it, I'm in. And I did it without fear. I can't believe I rode a roller coaster on a moving ship, or videotaped myself riding up in a cart 700 feet above sea level. Not only did I surprise myself, but everybody who knew my fears. I still have much work to do, but I can see and feel growth. Now that we've unpacked the what, the why, the signs, and the how, Now it's time to practice. Because here's the deal. Self-expression isn't something we master in theory. It's like dancing. You gotta move, even if it's awkward at first. So I like to share something simple for you to try. A call to action. The 5-day self-expression challenge. It's low pressure, no judges, no grades, no glitter explosions unless you want them. Just you, your thoughts, and 5 gentle prompts to help you hear your own voice again. So here's how it works. Each day for the next 5 days, take 5 or 10 minutes while sipping on your tea, hiding from your kids, or sitting in your parked car, no judgment, and respond to these prompts. On day 1, I feel most like myself when? When do you feel free, grounded, lit up, or alive? Maybe it's when you're barefoot in the garden or laughing with your best friend. Write it down and reclaim that part of you. Day 2. One thing I wish people knew about me is. Now this one's deep. It's about pulling back the curtain a little. What truth are you carrying quietly that deserves a voice? Day 3. If I could say one thing without fear, what would it be? Ooh, this one might sting, but in the best way, say it for you, not for anyone else. No filter and no explaining. Day 4. A color or song that matches your mood. Let your feelings come through in art. Is today a fiery red Beyonce day or a gray blue Noel Jones mood? There's no right or wrong answer. Let your vibe pick the soundtrack for the color. And day 5, my voice matters because. End strong. Affirm yourself. Remind yourself why your truth deserves airtime. Not someday, but today. So those are 5 prompts for you to complete, and hopefully you will. You can do this in a notebook, your notes app, sticky notes on the refrigerator, whatever fits your life right now. Remember, this challenge isn't about being poetic or profound. It's about being honest. And every time you express yourself, even in a whisper, you're reclaiming space in your own life. So, are you in? I certainly hope so. And if you do the challenge, let me know. I love to cheer you on. So let's inhale and exhale, because you got this. All right, beautiful souls, until next time, keep pampering yourself with truth, joy, and the boldness to be exactly who you are. Your voice is your power. Use it, honor it, and never, ever apologize for it. Goodbye.